Hey guys, welcome to Football in 90s Live. Tonight we're going to talk about the Reggae Boys matchup against Suriname team. Some contributing factors leading up to the game. The basic things that surrounds, a preview show. We'll definitely have that. Joining me will be Coach Kerry James, Javon Turner, and Janie with us. So, waiting on them to join up with me here at Football 90 for us to get down to the details. Howard Wilson, thanks for joining. Trayvon Reed, big up yourself as usual. It's that Tile Davis. Tile, you need to link me up in a man. Marino, you said you want to see Coach Kerry James. I can tell you that Coach Kerry James will be on shortly. He will be here. So I'm just trying to add my guests to live. Let's see. I'll request sent. And so the Jamaica national team would have, faced this Suriname team on 6 occasions. Some interesting statistics, throughout those three involvements. I continue to ask this question. In 2017, we went to the World Cup. Finals in 17 went to the finals, and I hope the performance on the field tomorrow is as good as the dancing. Marino, that sounds like a Jose Marino question. But I am positive. I am positive. I expect the guys to take the vibes to the field and wrap up the game tomorrow in fine fashion, if I may say. So I'm sending out some requests. Let's see what's up. Wow, big man is back.
On this one.
And we have Coach Sherry James. Coach, I know that you're at the field. That's where you sleep, eat, train, everything. Football.
The job
Have,
of a fake coach is never done, you know?
yeah. It's a good one, Coach. I'm sure you were privy to watch their interview earlier with Blair, and some interesting points coming from the lad there, especially his experience with the England youth program. It's quite interesting. Uh, have you learned anything new through that interview?
To be honest, I only caught about 10 minutes of it. So I was interested to hear some of the questions about, recent performance, just jumping into the national team and, obviously some good performance so far. And how he'll fit into the team going forward. So I actually like the performance he gave the first game he played. So depending on whether he starts or not, which I probably would think he would not. But if he does start or if he does get to significant playing time, I hope to see, how good he fits into the team. Because I think he's a good addition to the team.
Thank you, Coach. I duly believe so too. The matchup. Our last six, games against Suriname, we would have played, like I said, six, and the results are, you know, they're fairly well. really well. So I hope we can, work on. I think the last time we played them, we won 2-1. That was in the Concacaf Nations League.
Hmm.
But we're coming off 2 wins, so there's a good look there for the national team. Coach, it's your team playing, because I see that you have won a championship last season.
Yeah, it was a regular season. I guess the team that has the most points at the end of the regular season gets a trophy. So I like a fake trophy, before the
Sure.
playoffs start.
So it wouldn't be your team playing because you played yesterday. So
No, actually, I'm watching another league game. The
okay.
teams that more than likely are going to be playing in the playoffs. So
Oh, so
having having a having a look.
you're analyzing stuff on that on your end.
Yeah, man, fake analysis,
You, Coach, you would have seen, and JT, we would have seen over the last few weeks, a little bit of stability with our national team, players coming in, having good vibes and doing what's necessary, How do we look going into tomorrow's game though, JT?
Um, that, the like we look good. It doesn't matter which lineup goes out there tomorrow. Whoever goes out there, I think will perform good game. I look to dominate this game, even though they probably bring a lot of touch. That's their culture, but I think our team will come.
Coach, it's raining there.
As you can see, right? So I'm walking to try to get underneath the shade. So it's a little bit of rain.
Whoa,
Dedicated.
that's
Dedicated, right?
yeah,
Dedicated
that's
footballing 90 analysts,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So you guys are all set and ready for the game tomorrow.
Yeah, man, I'm actually heading up tonight probably later, like after this game. So I'll be there from tonight, yeah.
So, coach, based on the consultation, that I have with a few other members who will currently be at the
Hmm.
game tomorrow, is you guys are traveling. I hope it's not like Sean, who's probably a 72-hour drive from New York to Orlando.
For me, no. For me, from here, from the field where I'm at here to Orlando is about 3 hours. So I probably leave in another hour or so. So I'll be up there by tonight. So everything
Cool.
short trip, not like a Sean trip, 2 days
Oh.
trip.
One of the things that I forgot to share with Blair is that Sean deserves something special from the national team. You know, the, the man is
Dedicated fan.
what big time.
Yeah.
Sean, I see in the comments, big up yourself, my boss. We're happy to have you on our communications team, and I'm sure you'll do it well tomorrow.
He's saying it's 15 minutes away from the stadium, so man reach
Oh,
Florida.
good. So Sean, you don't have to drive tomorrow. You can just walk. Just leave 20 minutes prior to the time that you wanted to leave, so you'll be early. Coach, I do have some stuff to. Oh, seems like you can't draft up here. Oh, seems like it's not going to allow me to. I have some starting 11s to show, but I don't see the option anymore to bring it up on the screen. So, do you guys have any starting 11?
Who's winning?
You don't want to put
I
up.
think White is leading 2-1,
Okay, thank you.
I mean,
giving score updates.
I can use,
No, it's okay. You're good.
bring it up on the screen. I'm not sure if it's gonna be able to show it. Um, gotta search this.
Coach Lambert, is you picking the team tomorrow? So you say you have lineups, so sound like you already know what the lineup is.
This is one of the lineups that you guys.
Thank you, JT. So your guys are seeing this, and this lineup
Yeah.
wasn't done by me, to be honest. We kind of capture some lineups that was posted earlier. So you guys just get a glimpse of this one and see,
Bell at right back, huh?
JT, thank you, coach. You're a good coach. You saw that. You saw that. All right, JT, thank you.
All right.
Good.
Coach, just attack that point though.
You good.
Let's attack that point though. Bell at the right back. Who is that person watching Jamaica or not?
You never know, you know. Coaches will put left back and right back sometimes, but I think if you have two good right backs in the squad and there's no issues with them in terms of fitness or injury, I don't foresee a left back playing right back.
Interesting. Drake, thanks for joining us up here at Football in 90. It's a pleasure to always speaking with you. Your knowledge of the game is quite at a top level, so much respect for joining us today. What's happening on coaches?
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. Always a pleasure to be joining the team whenever you guys go live, you know.
JT, you have any questions?
Pertaining to.
We're having a preview show. The chat is open. It's an open discussion. Guys, I'll be talking tomorrow. I talk today. I'll be talking tomorrow. It's an open discussion.
Did I see the lineup with Gray up front?
Yeah.
I don't foresee that either.
No.
So I think we'll see Shamar or we'll see Corey Burke.
You know, JT is a very difficult individual. All the lineups that you have to preview that one.
You want me to go through all of them?
No, I'm not ready as yet. We will soon ask you to give us some more. But I'm still sticking with my back four. Right back, Alvas. Liam, Damian, and Kemal. Dre, can you give us some update on Ravel?
The latest, is what's been going on for the last 2 days, final documents submitted. So now it's the decision is in the hands of the U.S. Embassy now. So that's where we stand right now. But as far as joining up with the team, the door is still open. No other player has been called up to replace him. The coaching staff looking forward to coaching Ravel in this Gold Cup here. So still an optimistic situation as far as him getting the final documents for approval to join up with the team.
If I was in the coach's situation, I'm definitely looking forward to have some instructions thrown out to a quality player like Ravel Morrison. But the reality is, we are at the important stage of the competition, and is not yet in the mix. I think it's about time we forget about Ravel Morrison and bring in a player who can play, and let's move on and have a wonderful tournament. Instead, we'll have our fans buzzing and saying, hey, what's happening with Ravel Morrison? I think we need to forget about Ravel Morrison's situation and get someone in who is ready to play.
But is that a option though?
Is right now.
Rules wise, I'm not sure if you can replace a non-injured player. I know we put him on the roster because we thought he would get through paperwork wise. But in terms of the Gold Cup rules, I don't know if that's a possibility where you can replace a player for that reason. I know you can replace a player up until a few days before the opening game with an injury, but that's not the situation here. So I'm not even sure if that is an option, to be honest.
And 76 Stan Jams had an interesting question here. Said, does he have a deadline to join the bubble? And I'll answer that. I think he can come in whenever because he's already listed as a player of the squad. So if he does get his visa, he can fly in. I think anytime to join the team at any point in the competition. I hope that
Okay.
answers the question.
And thank you, JT. Coaches, this thank you for tuning in at Football United. Thanks for the support. Much respect. Big up coach preview shows all days, all night. Okay, cool. Coach, I know we have been, talking about this particular, you know, situation where 2015 we went to the finals of the World Cup. 2017 we went to the finals of the World Cup, and 2019 we went to the semifinals. And with the core players that is currently available to coach Sava and his technical team, isn't it time now for us to win this tournament? And based on the teams that we have seen, the caliber of players that were selected, where do they rank in where this is regarded?
It's a strong team. The problem is not so much the players that we have selected. The problem more is the preparation, which I don't think has been ideal. So if you look at the players, player for player, it probably match up with most of the other squads. I know 2015 was a very strong team. This squad is a good, strong squad as well, but I'm worried more about the preparation and whether they're prepared for a tournament like that. So normally, like the results you've been given over the years that we got, good results. Most of the times it started out with a good result in the first game, either a win or a draw. So obviously that's very important. So I agree with you player-wise that we should be looking to win the tournament, but like we had in the last discussion, I just don't think we're prepared in terms of our preparation to be able to have the best chance to win. So that doesn't mean we can't win, because Concacaf, again, is not the strongest confederation of all time. Mexico, which we thought was the strongest team, which is still the strongest team, obviously had a tough time breaking down Trinidad and Tobago, who were so awful in the preliminary round. So it's open, apart from Mexico, you would think, for the rest of the teams to try to do well. But you just don't know. You'll have to see how the group games go and then take it into the playoff rounds.
Guys, I am here looking at the last two, consecutive appearances at the World Cup, and that's 2017 and 2019. Our first game was against Caraco, and we won that game 2-0. We played Mexico, and we drew 0-0, and El Salvador we drew 1-1. We went to the quarterfinals, and we played Canada. We won 2-1. Semifinals we beat Mexico, and we went to the finals and we were beat 2-1 by the USA team. Coach, based on what I am seeing here with the Mexico matchups, is that we drew them in the group stage, we met them in the semifinals, and we won. If we are seeing these players that are current now in the national team are better than the players before, is it that the players before that played in these last consecutive World Cups were better prepared than these players?
Good question, because I don't think we've ever been really properly prepared as a team because of our, the limitations of our federation, money, and things like that. But I think I will have a few newer players in this squad as compared to some of the squads in the past. So I think, ideally you'd want to have them get a chance to play with each other in games before you get to the big tournament. I don't think we've had that this time around. So I think it's just going to depend on going into the games, getting a good result. I don't think it's the most challenging group of all time. Suriname and Guadeloupe are very dangerous teams, we know. and obviously Costa Rica is generally a power. So it just depends on whether we can do well enough to, as expected, because definitely we're expected to get out of the group. So once you get out of the group and you get into those knockout games, whether it's Canada, whether it's Mexico after that, you have to be in a position where you're more comfortable with the players that have been playing, and maybe some of those players that are new will get a couple games in the actual group stage itself for us to start gelling. I know I heard the president say, for example, the coach needs to get as far as he can if you want to look at a lot of new players. So that is not really how we normally think about preparation, but if the Gold Cup is going to be preparation for World Cup qualifying, then we have to use these games to try to get some of these new players playing time and see how they fit into the to the puzzle for World Cup qualifying.
Quite interesting, coach, and duly noted and taken. Dre, you've been close in terms of following around what's currently happening in the team. The vibes is at a top level, which is needed to go into this crucial phase, and especially the startup phase of the competition. You want to go in there with on the right mindset, playing well, getting the 3 points and, looking down the table and wondering where you can improve. There are tons of players in the squad, in a top professional football, playing football day in and day out. And you can talk about Leon Bailey and all these quality players that we have. What are you expecting from those players coming in? What can we expect from them?
So the vibes is on a high right now in the camp. Chemistry is going. Players are players are optimistic about the chances of getting out this group, possibly topping the group. They're taking it one game at a time, as far as I heard. They're not counting their eggs before they hatch, as some would say. So they're facing each game with optimism and planning to go with the coach's plans and execute to the best of their abilities. Now, as far as the next round is concerned, there's a couple teams that they could come across earlier than usual. And Mexico, they could face them earlier than in the finals. We would like to see them play Mexico in the finals and not that early in the competition. But it is what it is as long as they play according to the coaching plan. And also keep in mind that they do have a upgrade in the assistant. No disrespect to Coach Wade, but some would say Paul Hall, because of his coaching certificates, is an upgrade at the assistant coach for Coach Staffer Whitmore. So you will see some different tactics that you haven't seen before with the Reggae Boys team. So it's very optimistic in the camp, and the players are excited going into this tournament. As far as Leon and there isn't pressure on Leon being there isn't Leon is not getting pressure from the coaching staff to say it's your turn to carry the team. That's more coming from fans outside of the surrounding area that sees what's going on in the everyday camp. So the players all know what they can bring to the table. So we just expect them to perform at their best. And with that said, I'm optimistic that they will get 9 points in this group, not 5 or 7, but I'm expecting 9 points.
Well said, John. Well said, Jay. Well said. I am still trying to get around or new members here at Football in 90. Uh, 876 is saying, with the large amount of attackers, does that mean we are still experimenting, or does that mean we should expect attacking formation? Or do you want to take this one?
I know we're still experimenting for sure because we have so many new players in the squad. So yes, we're experimenting. And yes, we're experimenting in the Gold Cup, and yes, we're going to be experimenting in the World Cup qualifiers because of the situation with the players that are newly committed to the team that do not have their paperwork. So obviously, if they don't play in the Gold Cup, there's pretty much nothing between the Gold Cup and the World Cup qualifiers unless we can get a couple of practice games. And I don't think we probably will. So I think we will be experimenting in the Gold Cup, which is not ideal, and we will be experimenting in the World Cup qualifying as well, because as you can see, we've talked about before where this squad doesn't have a defensive midfielder. That is not something that we want to necessarily go into the World Cup qualifying with. So we're going to have to find that after the Gold Cup, I would think. And with a larger number of attackers, like you said, I think we'll see who is in form in terms of who plays. Because, for example, Shamar and Corey Burke, I don't think there's too much to choose between the two. So it may come down to who is in probably better form, who has been playing more recently. So I think all those factors will come into consideration when you're picking the squad to play in these games. And I do think there is going to be experimentation because that's just the nature of being a coach under the GFF system.
Quite interesting. You know, Jay, you mentioned something earlier about, those situations with Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey would have come into the national fold, but we haven't seen that bright spark, individual performance, just like when he represents for Bayern Leverkusen. What is happening there, why we haven't seen much of Leon Bailey in the national colors?
All right, some majority of the again, we're not trying to banter the players. We're trying to keep it on a positive, but it is what it is. So the quality of the team has improved, in my opinion, since last teams that he played with during the Gold Cup and international games. So he's with a Bobby Reed, a Andre Gray, a Daniel Johnson. I think this is going to be the first time he's playing with Daniel Johnson. So Johnson brings a different dimension to the midfield with his composure, his vision, his box to box. He can take the dead ball kicks, also take some pressure off Bailey in that regard also. So he's playing with arguably the best passer he has played with in the national team, in my opinion, and many will agree also. So the quality of his teammates has improved in past tournaments and past international games that he has represented Jamaica. So that's why there is also considered more pressure on him to perform, being that now he has the tools around him in order to take his game to the next level and for us to see him at his best right now. So, I expect Bailey to do what Bailey does and what the coaches ask him to do. However, if given a free roaming role, like he is given the reins to interchange with a Bobby Reed or a Turgat from wing to wing or dropping in play in the center attacking midfield role, Bobby go on the wing. It just depends what the coaches ask him to do and what free will he's given for him to perform at his peak. So I believe, yeah, big things are expected of a Bailey being given the improvement in teammates around him this time around.
JT, players to watch for the Jamaican national team. That's
I think I would say most we're gonna keep the attacking player. Players to watch. I think Ian Bailey showing. I think that probably we've seen what he can do. You know, hopefully we'll see a very, as usual, as we always see, a very calm and composed Damian Coulson. And obviously we know Andre King goal is definitely probably gonna be done because I'm not players to watch him.
Coach,
Players to watch, hopefully not Andre Blake, because hopefully he'll not be under too much pressure. But I just think maybe the organization of the defense with Damian Lowe, assuming that he will start, just to get the defense organized. And then obviously we know Leon Bailey is always a player to watch. What can we expect in terms of how dominant he can be in Concacaf as opposed to his club team. So we're looking forward to that. I think probably Bobby Reed as well, depending on where he's positioned, because we know that he's versatile. He can play on the wing. He can play deeper like he plays for his club at times. So, looking forward to that, and probably looking forward to how they link up with whoever starts up front, whether it's Shamar or whether it's Corey Burke. We know that can be a dangerous combination if we can ever get that front three playing together and understanding each other. I think that can be a very strong front three, so I would be looking forward to that. I would normally say midfield because that's where the game is controlled, right? Where the game is probably won or lost a lot of the times. But I don't think that's probably the strongest part of our team right now. So also probably looking at which ones of the midfielders we choose, whether it's Speedy, whether it's Flemings, and how they can hold on the role without a true defensive midfielder, unless your boy plays, unless Hector is one of the defensive midfielders, which is a big possibility. So we'll see.
Why you have to say your boy to him, man?
His boy, man, his favorite
Yeah, he's
player.
a nerve. Yeah, man. But big up,
no,
big head.
big up, big up, big hit, Yeah. Coach. Oh, an interesting one, isn't it? You know, I want to stick on the midfield. I want to stick to the midfield, since coach would have, you know, bring it to our attention. Coach, you're saying the area for concern is the central defensive midfielder. You're saying we don't have someone in that position who will do the dirty work, who will make decisive pass from deep if necessary, or even to switch play.
Yeah.
Is that exactly what you're saying, coach?
Yeah, pretty much. And if you don't have a defensive midfielder, you have to share the work, right? So I think that's what we've seen in some of the past squads without a defensive midfielder. I think that's probably what we're going to see in this tournament. Players that are sort of hybrid players that can do enough for the tackling, whether it be Junior, whether it be Speedy. I'm sure Daniel Johnson will be somewhere in the middle of the field. So none of them, I think, true defensive midfielders. So when you have three of them playing, more than likely, then you're going to have to share the workload in terms of when we don't have the ball. So I'm not so much worried about when we have the ball. I'm probably more concerned about when we don't have it. So I think that's going to be the challenge. Obviously, when we do win it, we're going to try to get it as quickly as we can to the dangerous players that we have up front. So probably fairly direct counter-attacking. So that is kind of what I expect out of the midfield that we have.
Well said, coach. I have a question for the panel. Seeing in the Serbia game, Coach Tapa would have used Damian Lowe as a central defensive midfielder. And seeing that we have a wide variety of different teams, do you think he would go at any game this tournament with Damian Lowe as a central defensive midfielder?
You never know. But I just going by what he said after the game, he pretty much said that is not something that was in his mind. Mm-hmm. But I think that was before the squad was selected. So the fact that we have no defensive midfielder in the squad, it's a possibility because I think we're finally a little bit have more options in central defense, which we didn't have before. Now that we have Amor and company, so you could, potentially see that. I would hope not. I think before he puts Lowe in defensive midfield, I think more than likely he would be more than likely to play three in the back as another option. I know some of the training sessions have featured three in the back. Whether it be 3-4-3, more 3-4-3 than 3-5-2. So I think that's a possibility with maybe three central defenders playing at the same time, but not necessarily in the center of midfield.
JT, when I really look at at this particular question, if a situation arises where this individual player has to fill the void, which I do believe at some point he will have to be called upon to operate that position because based on what we saw in the last game, he did really well. I am not too confident based on what I would have seen from previous players who would have occupied that position. And I meant previous players. I'm not talking about Kevin Lambert because when he does play that position, it's to his best. But I'm saying the players who are here now to play in this particular position, they won't give us the necessary quality that is required to occupy this position to make a difference. That is basically what I believe based on what I saw, and this is my own opinion to it. But the team looks ready, and I'm sure leading up to this game, the technical staff would have done some assessment per position that players could fill. So I'm quite optimistic about our chances, and I just can't wait.
Well said, coach. I think yeah, everybody feels that way. We know that as Coach Kerry has said before, the midfield, we're probably missing a key player in the midfield. A key chess player in the midfield to lock the defense down and have a link up play between the other midfielders and the forwards. But we have options, as I said before. We of course we don't have a true defensive midfielder, but I think we can use one of these extra defenders that we have, or one of the extra midfielders we think and who we've seen before that can play that part. So I don't think we'll have a.
All right, guys, I'm just use this segment to give me your starting 11. I know when I give you mine, it will be interesting. I'm changing some stuff up. It will be definitely be interesting. Here's Jay, you would like to go first?
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you the starting 11, but I'm not gonna elaborate because up right now on my channel I have the explanations of each position and why I choose that 11.
Okay, no
So
problem.
in goal, Andre Blake. Left back, Kemar Lawrence, Damian Lowe, Liam Moore, Alvis Powell. That's the defense. In midfield, Daniel Johnson and Michael Hector in the middle of the park, deep. In front of them, Bobby Reed. On the left, Blair Turgott. On the right, Leon Bailey. And up top, lone striker, Corey Burke. That's my 11. 4-3-2-1.
Jay, do you like to go?
Give me 1 second.
Okay. Coach, you ready?
Yeah, I'll pick pretty much the same team that I picked when we did the former interview. So I'll go with pretty much the same back four. So if we're playing a back four, because I think there is a big possibility to play a back three. But if we're playing a back four, we go with Kimar, and I don't know why I think it's gonna be Fisher at right back instead of Alvas. Just in terms of somebody that's more ready, that's been playing more. So that's a toss-up position, I think. I would go with Moore and with Damon in the center. Daniel Johnson's going to be playing in midfield. Who the other two are, if we play with three in midfield, I would probably go with maybe Speedy Williams. The other position, I don't know, toss-up again, Junior Flemings. The front three, I'd go with Bobby Reed. I'd go with Leon Bailey. And for the same reason I'm going with Fisher, I would probably go with Corey Burke, just in terms of a player that's been playing more, and that's probably more ready than Boyz is. So, similar team.
JT, ready?
Yeah. I would go with Andre Blake in goal, of course. Alvas Powell, Damian Lowe, Moore, and Taxi Lawrence. And for the midfield, I would go with Daniel Johnson and Speedy, with Leon Bailey, Bobby Reed, Corey Burke, and possibly either Junior Flemings or one of the other midfielders.
Come on, JT. We mean one of the other midfielder.
I,
Yeah, man. Come on, spill the beans, man.
I'm
What's
not
the
sure.
11?
I can't make up.
11, not 9.
Well, I'm sure you guys, like- just like I said, mine is quite interesting. You would definitely like to hear it. So at left back, I'm going with Lawrence. And then you have Low, Moore, Alvas, Hector, Speedy, Daniel Johnson, Lane Bailey on the left, Shamar Nicholson central, and Bobby Reed on the right. Open to 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 respond.
I think most of the squads are similar, right? I think you're you're putting our only defensive midfielder into the team. So we'll see if a defensive midfielder actually plays or not, which is Hector. So I think the rest of the team is pretty similar. I think probably the key decisions are Alvas or Fisher, Shamar or Corey Burke. I think those are probably big decisions as to who plays. And again, we're going by what we know. Obviously, training. I know Dre's up there now, so probably he has probably more information than we do. But sometimes what happens in training will dictate if the positions are close, who plays. So that's gonna have a big impact on who plays or who doesn't play from the start. So, but I think you'll see, just like how all four of us said, probably eight or nine players are the same, and probably one or two players are different. So we'll see.
You don't want to hear about training because our mindset, you guys' mindset may change if you hear about training. So
Yep.
let's just keep it with the 11s out there because
Yeah.
none of the 11s that we named have taken the field together in training
In training.
up
Yeah.
until Friday because they trained at the stadium yesterday and then ESPN. They trained at ESPN yesterday and this morning. So
Yeah.
yeah. So up until that time, trainings at the Seminole, none of the 11s that we named have taken the field together. There's a player who has been dominating training. We ain't even naming 12 player that we all named just now. Player Tyreek McGee.
Of course.
Yeah, Dre, you talked too early because I was going to mention that that man is a player to watch. Uh, One of the things that I really appreciate about football in 19 uh, is that we continue to follow our players, and one of the things that I realized, Terry McGee over the last few months has been working on his weak areas, and you can tell me that Terry McGee, people usually say Terry McGee at 1 foot. I am expecting to see a man with full control of using his 2 feet. So I'm looking forward to see what he has to bring to the table. And I wouldn't be surprised if Terry McGee at some point fits into this team. Last evening, I was speaking to the goalkeeper from Portmore United. Can't remember his name right now. And he asked for my 11, and I did have Terry McGee in the 11. I just think that this player, this competition means a lot to him because he wants to secure something big for himself.
Contract.
So yes, so he will work hard at this World Cup. I have no doubt. So we should look out for it. AJ Magnificent.
And the
Yeah,
I
of
coaching
think
course,
he.
staff
coach.
knows that
As you
too.
mentioned, if Tyreek McGee, go ahead, go ahead.
No, continue. I'm just dropping it that the coaching staff knows the importance of this tournament to a Tyreek McGee, young player, and his mindset and all that.
Yeah.
So
Yes, because
yeah,
what you would need as a staff, you would analyze each player, especially their playing time over the last few months, and then what they would realize is that Terry McGee has been inactive for a while. So and they would want his quality in the going forward, especially in the goal in the World Cup. So it is important at this phase that they look after Terry McGee carefully and give him playing time so he can go there and do what we know he can do, which is to play football and do wonderful things. So expecting some good showing from Terry.
I think he may take up some of the slack with the fact that Ravel may not be available. I think the creative type player, we don't really have a lot of creative type players in midfield. We have a lot of workers, whether it be Junior or whether it be Speedy. So I don't think it's going to be from necessarily the start in the first game, but I think throughout the tournament, I think he'll pick up some of that creative slack that Ravel would normally give us. So yes, I do expect him to get some playing time. I just don't expect him to be a starter for the first game.
Terry McGee though,
um,
he looks a little bit taller, guys. Have you seen
And get taller.
it? He
Maybe it's
looks
a
a
dance.
little.
Is it dancing? Maybe the dancing improve his
been in the
height.
weight room, man.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be tough for him to break into the starting level, like we all thought, because Blaze also performing at his best in training too. So if he carries that over into the game, it's gonna be tough because we would look at a front three where Bobby, whoever up top, whether it be Gray or Burke or Shamar, and then Leon, then that center attacking center in the middle of the park would be a Tyreek McGee or a Ravel. But if Turgot is starting, that means that Bobby has to play that role in the center of the
Deeper.
park.
Yep.
And he
Yep.
just have to rotate with him and Leon and
Yep.
probably a Turgot too. So it's just important right now for us to just, there's a lot of competition in the team, and that's a good thing to have.
I think that's a good point you make about Blair Turgot because there is a possibility that he starts as well, and I think you said the exact right thing is what we are talking about before with how versatile Bobby Reed is. So Bobby Reed doesn't necessarily have to play as part of the front three. We know he's versatile, so if Blair Turgot has impressed so much in the little chance that he got in the game and then in the training sessions that we've had in the last week, if he plays, I think you're right in that. I think Bobby Reed is going to be in the squad. He's going to be in the team. So whether he is in the team as a member of the front three or somewhere else, I think it's going to depend on how some of the other players are performing, like Blair Turgot. So I think you make a very good point there.
I think Blair is going to have a wonderful tournament. I just have the feeling. You know, I think, he has hold his own. He has, it's not easy to come into a new environment and settle right away, especially a team with loads of different personalities, players coming from all around the world. It's not going to be easy, but I must commend Blair and his professionalism, and his work ethic coming in and showing some really good quality. One of the things that I mentioned to him earlier is that a lot of persons don't know he would have occupied the attacking midfield era, during his stint at the England youth and also for his current club. So he has some experience there, and we would have seen a brilliant pass to Andre Gray, his first game, which was quite exquisite, wasn't it, guys?
It really was. Yep.
Yeah, and with the attacking prowess that we have available, it's gonna be challenging for opposing coaches to plan against us. You can't say, well, Leon is gonna be on the left and we're gonna have this player facing Leon all game. No, they can rotate all three positions in the park. A Turgut, a Leon, and a Bobby Reed. You can't man mark them out the game, so don't even plan on that.
Coach?
Yeah, agreed. Versatility is very important when you're picking a team, and like I think even further down, besides Gold Cup in the World Cup qualifying, that unpredictability of being able to play players in different positions and players that can play different positions in a very solid level. I think that's important. Yeah, and as you go to World Cup qualifying, you have 2 or 3 games within one window, and you can't play the same team over and over and over. You need that versatility where a player may be more naturally a left-sided midfielder, but you can also do a job somewhere else, and you may need that against a different type of team, and depending on what your different type of tactics are. So, yeah, that versatility is very important in the players.
Guys, I'm sure you would have seen a particular team, loads of attacking options, but in certain phases when you expect a certain change should be made, the change wasn't made, and if you remove your front three and replace and bring another set on the field, it's like you have never changed your squad. I hope it doesn't come down to this with the national team, because attacking options is something we are not sharp there. So I don't expect us to stay in the lead that much, but I expect us to come out with flair. I expect players like Leon Bailey to come to the forefront, and bring this team on its back. That is my expectation of Leon Bailey, because we need to see much of him in the national colors, in my opinion.
And I kind of disagree with that, because the abundance of attacking talent that Leon has around him this time is not necessarily him that's going to be holding all the pressure and having to carry the team on his back. Because you have an Andre Gray up top who can score goals. He has the experience. He can take the pressure off of Leon by, counseling him when you see changes need to be made throughout the game. You've got that experienced Premier League player out there with you. You have a Bobby Reed who could be playing at his best right now going into these Gold Cup tournaments, coming off a really good close into the season. You have DJ out there who wasn't because of injury. So it's out there that DJ got injury, so he was injured and out for the rest of the season. April 2nd, he played against Norwich. The coach subbed DJ out, put in Potts, I think it was, who is a player that coming up through the academy, who the coach want to take DJ is locked up for a contract for the next couple of years. So the coach want to take a look at these players going into the following season to see where he can make changes and movements. They already were in mid-table. They weren't going up into playoff. They weren't getting relegated or in danger of. So the changes were made to DJ's season by the coaching staff, according to really good sources and research that I have done. So that wasn't due to injury. So DJ is a quality player who can, like I said, string passes. He has the experience, the knowledge. He reads the game really well. He'll be able to communicate with Leon too out there. Turgot also can command a double team with his skills on the ball and his speed and off the ball running too. So it'll be a lot of spaces open up for Leon. That one goal, I expect him to nab 3 goals in the tournament here. Could be more, but I expect 3 goals from him. Not included any dead ball, just regular play goals from in-game play. But it's not as much pressure and carrying the team than much would expect this time around. Maybe 2019, 2017 if he was in it. But yeah, I don't really expect much pressure carrying the load of the team this time. So.
Coach Gary James, see Javin calling you out, sir.
I didn't see the comment. What did say?
Big Coach Gary.
Big up to the baller.
Javin, can you secure some tickets for us to go to the game tomorrow?
I don't know if JFF probably offer the players one ticket each or something like that.
That's
Normally,
that's
normally, normally the players will get 4 tickets each, and I could give to them family or whoever. But you know how it go.
yeah.
Probably less than 4.
Probably doesn't happen this time round.
Probably doesn't happen.
Really doesn't happen. I think they didn't remember to do that.
I don't think the stadium is going to be sold out, so they could well offer 3 or 4 tickets per player. There's only 4
Yeah.
teams there, so that's not that many tickets. But
So guys, what should we expect from? And let's put it this way, Coach Kerry or Coach Tapper, what would be your approach tomorrow?
Coach Kerry is Coach Tapper, you said?
Yes, what would be our
Yeah.
approach
So
tomorrow?
the first thing I would do is quit the team because I'm being given basket to carry water. But if we're talking about specifically tomorrow, I'm sure he's made his plans. I'm sure he has an idea of whether the formation he's going with and the players that he's going with. So you know how football is. You have a plan, but the plan sort of goes out the window when the first ball is kicked. So you have to kind of adjust your plan based on what you see. So I'm sure he has an idea of what he's expecting to see in the first game. Obviously, like we've been talking about the success we've had in past tournaments, usually it starts with a good result in the first game. We know the first game is very important to get a good result. And when I say a good result, obviously the win, because we would expect to win our first game. So I think that's going to just depend on how the game goes. We'll obviously have an idea of how we're going to start it and what options we have on the bench to change it if we need to change it. But I would expect a good performance, a good solid performance. I wouldn't expect necessarily a million goals in the game. I think it may be a close game, and hopefully a Jamaica win.
Thank you, Coach Tapper.
Yes, sir. Coach Tapper without the football background. No quality World Cup goals or anything like that. Just coach, not a player coach.
That's good.
Yeah.
Coach Tapper, Dre.
All right, so carry out the game plan that we studied the tape and watch Suriname how they play in the previous games. That don't give them time on the ball, no ball possession, high press, put pressure on those 2 central midfielders. They up there in age, so attack them down the middle. Just carry out the game plan and execute it. We got skillful players on the ball that will demand double teams at times, which would open up the wing backs overlapping with those crosses in, whether it be a Corey Burke or Andre Gray latching on to them. I expect, unlike Coach Kerry, I'm expecting a high scoring game. 4-1 if we give up a goal. But 3 clear goals, we're going to win by 3 clear goals.
Okay, Coach Tapper, quite interesting match result. JT, over to you. You want to be Tapper or you want to be Paul Hall, JT?
I would say
JT get excited when he hear Paul Hall.
You might like get a British accent early. Say it in a British accent if you want to be Paul Hall.
Yeah. I think tomorrow we go into the game and we don't give any respect, and we don't want our team to be sitting back with this we have. And there's only one danger player for Suriname, and that's Nigel Hazelbank. He's the nephew of, I think, Frankie, who used to play for Chelsea. But he has netted like 20 something goals for his country. Probably the only danger man there in the squad. So I think all thing we have to do, just attack the game. Don't wait on to come and attack us. So I think it's going to be a high scoring game for us. I think we will school these guys tomorrow. Hope I'm not just gassing up the team or nothing.
All right, coach. I like you guys. I like your points, guys. You know, your approach, rather. You know, for tomorrow's game. You know,
No
quite,
respect.
yeah, quite an intrigue. You know, and one of the things that I would really want us to do as a team, and when I say that, I mean the approach for tomorrow for our nationals is that we control the build-up phase and the consolidation phase right around there. Because the last time we played, we gave away too many, too many easy, what do you call it now? We gave away the ball too easily. We receive the ball, we give back to them. We can't have that. I think our transition from defense to attack, it must be swift. The guys, you know, you want that level of high intensity going forward. So I think that is one of the most key points that we need to adjust, based on what I saw in the last game. You know, as it's probably we're probably going to see it happen again because we don't have that individual who needs to run that particular area. Hopefully, my boy will step up and get that position at its best. Right, coach?
Yep,
My
agree
boy can step
completely.
up.
And I hope I don't know if you talked about before I jumped on, but I hope we have some maybe preview with the fans, before the game starts tomorrow. Some little chats with the fans before, during, and after the game. So, everybody can look forward to that. I think, I know Dre will be there. Dre's already there. I'll be there. And we have others as well. So, tune into Football at 90 for that important information tomorrow before the game starts.
Yeah, Dre's room is actually next to Part Hall. So
Oh, cool.
yeah.
That's why I know the formation already. That's
Yeah,
good.
maybe listening.
I was going to ask him to take off the coaching cap a little bit and come back down to Dre, but I realize what's happening.
Can't give it too much. Remember, Suriname, the
Yeah,
program
keep it
global,
private.
so
Yeah.
can't give it too much. Right, coach?
Well,
Guys, it was a pleasure, to speak with you guys. Tomorrow is a big day for us again. You know,
yeah.
we are anticipating a good showing from the boys. We heard it from Blair today. The vibes is there. The best dancer in the group, he regards, is Fisher. I think both have something to say about that, and particular probably Lamar Walker as well. So it's tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow we will be back here live giving match day analysis. Coach, once you are there, I don't want you guys to keep me out the loop. I want to feel like I'm a part. I'm there. So if you're weak, as you guys wake, so me just wake and I'm heading out. You know, and what I'm eating
We're
for
going to send you.
breakfast.
We're going to send you some. We're going to send you some videos also from inside the stadium. I think the seats I have are is close to the bench, so
Oh,
you'll get an idea of what's going on. Maybe we can talk to Paul Hall
think
from
I
from
need to
from
talk
there.
to Terry after this, for the game on Friday. Yeah, good seats, so I'll talk to you about that for the game on Friday.
All right, boss.
Well, tomorrow, unfortunately, I can't make it, but I'll be sending a scout there, so I'll ask him to give his 2 cents.
So we're on tomorrow, guys. Just keep me abreast of what you guys eating for breakfast. Keep me abreast of everything, guys. For
All
our
right,
viewers
man.
currently on, I am Coach Keith Lambert, and this is Football 90. Join us back here tomorrow where we have the blast, the best of our nationals. Hopefully, things will go as planned, and I am confident, and I'm sure the guys are confident as well, and can't wait to put on their Jamaica top. Coach Kerry, you find the cup atop it?
No, I'm gonna look for it though, cause I need to. I was planning to wear Umbro, right? But we don't have no Umbro, so I
No.
have to either go with the old Umbro from a couple years ago, which I tired of wear that now, or I have to wear a kappa. So I'm gonna try to find the kappa to wear the kappa.
I would love if you grab the top off before
Yeah, man.
move out. Dre,
Yeah, man. They are
all right.
gonna be in Orlando early. Probably peep the stadium, but
Yeah,
get some shots early out
yeah.
parking lot before anybody else reach. Probably get the first and closest parking spot.
Dre,
$20 parking.
we want everything. Myself and JT will be in studio.
Yes, sir.
Sound good.
Yeah, man.
We will be in the studio. So see you guys tomorrow.
Uh,
All right,
Godspeed, keep
folks.
safe.
We'll talk some more.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
uh,
man.
Please use up the WhatsApp chat, coach. All right, later.